and just basically went down what was very niche rabbit hole back, I guess, in 2022, even before ChatGPT came out. And so we started tinkering around with custom tooling and building our own things back then. And it's just basically evolved since then to a point where now we have this internal tool which powers so much of how we build and even deliver content to like in marketing and even growth campaigns, that we've started to productize it. And we're not going to be sort of putting it out there just for everybody, but we've got actually select partners to really hone in on that product market fit, because it's a very, very difficult problem that we're working with. And that's creating and generating assets that are consistently on brand, which is one, I think, as a marketer, I know that this is one of the hardest things right now in AI, is keeping AI sort of within the parameters that you need it to actually make it useful for you in terms of generating not just content for marketing, but content for assets inside a game.
Yeah, you have something like on X. I love do you have a specific channel you actually created to talk about these experimentations you're having using different LLMs based on different objectives you have as a brand, and what does work, what doesn't work, depending on the kind of things you would like to implement while using AI. So I really do encourage everyone to have a look at it, because that's super interesting. But I guess this is where you want to go through the Nexus platform that you're building, right?
Yeah, I mean, I thought maybe we could talk about gifts.fun, because I think once we go to Nexus, you'll have a reference point. Yeah.
Let's go.
Okay, so this is gifts.fun. This is actually the Telegram version of it. We do have a web app, but it's not as advanced as the Telegram at the moment, so I'll take you through this. And gifts.fun is essentially a place where you can win gifts and play games and win prizes. It's instant gratification, and it uses the TON blockchain, but our web app will be on Base. And every day you get to claim a free box. And I'll just quickly take you. So you've got the core concept is you just open boxes. I mean, maybe we can open a box right now. So maybe today I'll win some designer drip. Gems is the platform currency. You use crypto obviously to buy gems, and then you can use your gems to potentially win a prize. So
yeah, Gems is the native currency from the Telegram ecosystem, right?
No, so TON is the native.
You have TON, but if you want to pay for specific in-app purchases within Telegram, is it not through the Gems? Stars.
Yes, that's the one. I know.
Yeah.
Potato, right? But yeah, so you can, so I'll do it all the time, see if I win actually something. Gems is our specific platform currency. Okay. And so you can win. Okay, so I'm not having my luck. I basically won the other day and I used all my luck. So, but you can win lots of things. You can win McDonald's coupons, iPhone. You can win Balenciaga. We've got a Lionel Messi signed T-shirt. So this is just kind of like, instant gratification. People can win things, but you can also play games. So we have Reels, which is like a slot machine. We have Lucky Dip, but I'm going to show you Crossy Goat because that's my favorite one. And now, when I talk you through this, just when you're looking at this app, pretty much every single thing is vibe coded. So this game, the whole concept of it was made in like a week. The challenging bit is I think it goes over my head, but it's to do with kind of like security auths and server stuff. That takes a little bit longer, but the concepts get mocked up in like even a day at some time. So this is where we kind of are able to ship things quickly, because you can really you can test out the gameplay far before you decide to actually deploy the game itself. So you can play, this is a game where you kind of spend gems and then you try and sort of multiply your gems. It's similar to that game, Chicken Cross the Road, right? Again, all vibe coded. Let's see how long it takes until I die.
You said you were good, so I trust you on that.
Yeah. Well, I'm playing easy mode, so I feel like I'm cheating here a little.
The interesting thing, like you said, like it is vibe coding, because we got this conversation also with Ben when we were in Singapore. where he actually led the BGA workshop physically there. The relevance of vibe coding the games, but also working on the content and everything to be agile, is based on your ability to navigate conversations, topics within a very fast-moving ecosystem, which is Web3. That was the narrative I've got from Ben, feedback. Do you agree? Like, how this is the way you see it?
Oh, I think I just won that game. Actually, sorry, I lost you.
No, I'm here. I may have a trouble with
here.
my cam, but I'm with you.
I died at the last. So anyway, sorry, distraction there, but I died at the last hurdle. Almost, yeah. So something like this, yeah, you're right. It's all about speed and agility, right? So when we go back and forth, right? So say with the UX UI team and the growth team wants to make sure that people land on their app and we convert as quickly as possible. We get qualified users that stick around, come back and retain. And so there's a lot of back and forth. Now, historically, just wait. There's a waiting game, right? You've got it. Your UX team does their thing. You have to then give feedback, and that kind of back and forth is a lot of what takes the time of building just that section of the business, right? And so when we have vibe coding, like you can sit down with the UX UI designer and be like, I want to move this. Okay, done. I think we should have this first. We should get rid of all of that. We need to focus on this element. And these things, like, because it's just prompting with the app there right in front of you, it's so much quicker. It's so much quicker. And then, of course, we've got assets. Now, the assets is where Nexus comes in, right? You want assets that are consistent with your brand. So this is like our Amy character. If anybody kind of knows who we are, we have like which is another way we use AI, which is a persistent community manager called Amy. And she's like this character who's actually joined us on Spaces as a voice, as an AI agent character. But she also is a permanent fixture inside our communities. She has a knowledge base and a brain. And the knowledge base is basically all the live ops and latest information plugged in to her. And then the brain says, okay, you are a community manager. Your sort of role is to keep the vibes up, always answer questions, direct people to the right thing, support people as much as possible. And so if you go into our Friends with Benefits, which is our community channel in Telegram, you will see her just chatting with people and answering questions. And again, that's a custom built tool by us. And the process of building that was really interesting because we spent several months having her do crazy things in the app, right? Because obviously you let an AI loose, she might talk too much, she might get involved in conversations that she's not a part of, or she might start going off the rails. And we had to, it was a kind of a really interesting iteration process, but it really, really helped because honestly, that helps me sleep at night a little bit better, knowing that we've got like somebody there when like the team is asleep answering questions, and it just helps kind of build the vibes in the community. And it is a tool that people can use. So, we've got this kind of open to other communities. I know a couple of our partners in Telegram have trialed, I think are using Amy as well. So that's a really cool way in which we've kind of optimized our operations using AI.
Which means this is something you've built yourself, or you're going with a third party to help you build?
We built this from scratch.
Wow.
Yeah,
crazy.
Built this from scratch. We've made it also. We've actually productized it so that it's kind of a simple plug and play into any other product or project, and it sits in. And she basically sits inside of your community and can basically answer questions based on your company or your project's facts, right? Because otherwise you have to hire someone 24/7 or have like 2 time zones, because Web3 nobody sleeps and it's a global industry. So having somebody there that kind of can direct people or even engage. We actually got her to play games with the community. We had this game called Last Acclaim Showdown, and you basically you send in Ton and to claim the prize, or you snatch the prize from someone. It was back when Telegram gifts were like all the rage, and you snatch the gift from someone, and then you have to hold on to it for 5 minutes, and then whoever snatches it before the 5 minutes gets to keep it. And whoever holds on to it for the actual 5 minutes before someone takes it away from them wins. And Amy obviously kind of coordinated and orchestrated the whole thing, which really kind of brought alive the conversations, because she actually had quite a bit of spicy banter as well. So that was a really fun experiment that we did that kind of brought alive the community.
Do you feel like it's also like from the perspective of a game studio, having Amy, like a kind of Amy with you, is helping you in terms of bringing your audience cross platforms? Like obviously we're talking about Telegram, but you mentioned other games as well, and I'm not sure if the other games you mentioned is also on Telegram or maybe on another platform. But do you feel like Amy is actually helping you to gather all the community of players you have to be to engage with the other different games you have cross platforms?
Yeah, so actually that's something that is a growing side as well. So Amy is a bot in of itself. And if you know how the Telegram ecosystem works, that if you engage with a bot, it can then DM you directly. So it's got a line of communication with you. So if you say play one of these games, in order to play the games, you have to DM her just to set up your participation in the game. So we've got a line of communication to this user. And then sometimes when we have like any activations or campaigns running, she can directly DM them and say, hey, we're doing this thing. It's kind of like an outreach program, or even a form of user acquisition, because we just have to get players to actually DM her. So on Telegram, that's been super helpful, and we're actually porting that or planning to port that over to Discord, because obviously there's a huge kind of Web3 community there, but that's a different set of like rules and technological kind of, you can't just map it from Telegram into Discord. So hasn't yet been done, but it's been proving super helpful in terms of community management and user growth for us in Telegram. Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah, so I mean, I could go on and talk about sort of some of the stuff we're doing with Nexus, which is slightly more brand and marketing for. So
well, maybe to
did you have
keep a little bit
on
on gift.fun. Well, so what is your we had already some kind of responses about why you decided to. It's been quite some years. You decided to go on fully involved in the Telegram ecosystem with a few activities you had. Gift.fun is one of them, but not the only one. Why do you think it's actually super useful to be on Telegram per se? And it feels like AI is a perfect tooling as well to have some sort of presence within Telegram based on the thing you'd already said, which is Amy, but the other thing as well. It's like why Telegram is actually a good fit based on the kind of internal process you're having within the game studio.
Well, actually, if I'm totally honest, you've caught us at a time where we are actually diversifying outside of Telegram too.
True.
But let me talk you through the kind of thinking that when we first started. So when we September or June, actually, it was 2024. Shortly after, I think we'd been to Token 2049 in Dubai, actually. So actually as early as April. And we had kind of seen this kind of massive focus and growth inside of Telegram, 1 billion, monthly active users, and just an exploding ecosystem. And in that moment, it felt very, very right to be able to jump into Telegram for a number of reasons. One of the biggest challenges we had as a mobile gaming app was shipping content quickly, because whenever you ship to mobile apps, you have to go through, especially with Apple, you have to go through jump through so many hoops, and then when they reject you, they don't even tell you why, and there's a whole huge friction piece there. And it just felt like so natural to be on Telegram, and it still does. Like there's so many pros to Telegram with like you can ship quickly, so it's very native to Web3. Everyone in Web3 and cryptocurrency is essentially, if you're working or even operating in Web3, you are familiar with Telegram. So that whole audience is native to Telegram. And then we had the boom following that in the gaming space in Telegram. And so it kind of just like made sense in that moment to have the games. And what we found is that part of that thesis worked out. So there are the players, it is friction free. We can ship so quickly on Telegram. Some of the things that we learned though, is that maybe the users, they don't they don't. So we were doing skill gaming with Goat Gaming, right? There was a lot of skill gaming involved. So we'd ship different games, and there was skill gaming, and you play games to win prizes. But the skills part of that, it just wasn't working. The projects that and the games that we were seeing that were really doing well was all about instant gratification. Then they had like Telegram gifts. People wanted something, and this concept of farming for a token, it was getting tired. I think is a people were getting tired just farming for a token, and it really kind of it let you not focus on product market fit, because anybody can get a project if you offer them a ton of tokens, right? So anybody get users if you offer them a ton of tokens. So we pose ourselves a challenge. Okay, can we get users consistently by doing a similar thing, but removing the token element and maybe making it more instant gratification, and more sort of like instantly what people want to do. So from the learnings of Goat Gaming, we've now got gifts.fun. It's a lot more instant experiences. You don't have to like farm or have delayed gratification. You have your prizes right there. And obviously we're keeping the content going, and new content comes out every kind of month or so. We actually will be shipping faster than that, but we've migrated to web, so that's kind of taken up a lot of time.
Yeah, no, it does make sense. I do follow you on the different mindsets you have based on what was possible with Telegram a few years ago, and what you could do, and the audience, like what you've learned along the way based on the audience on Telegram and the kind of games you should ship. It's super interesting as well. So AI, if we come back to the topic of AI, so now you put in place internally a lot of different processes when you develop a game to use AI different way. Could you tell us about that? It seems like you have a magical platform which makes it very easy for you to master AI the way you want, based on what you want to build and based on what you already built before. So you have some sort of consistency, the thing you were saying before.
Yeah, so I wanted to pick up from when we were talking about Mighty Action Heroes, and we want to make like tons of characters, and we had like these, little 3D characters that used to run around inside the battleground, and being able to create consistently with a similar sort of look, but like, keep the look or the stance, but change the outfit, keeping part of the image the exact same, but changing other parts of the image is still very hard to do. And so that's why we started building our own tools, and specifically the art team inside the company has basically been on a mission since 2022 to not only try and test every single fundamental LLM, so like, from Kling to Quen to Nano Banana to, all DALI, just all of them, and see, basically understand, what is the algorithm of those, like what's the sweet spot? I mean, I'm worried that I might just give away our secrets around the combination and things like that, but it is a very specific algorithm that brings together and makes what we call, like, basically inside the tool, there's a number of different apps. So you could have like a Instagram asset generation app, or a game character asset app. And so it knows instantly that you want to create a character. And then you have other things like you can build brand codexes. So anybody can come in and say, this is my brand. This is the look, the colors, the fonts. These are the backgrounds you should use. This is the language you should use. And it creates this kind of whole picture of what basically your mission is, and how you should organize a visual hierarchy and assets. And then you can then go in and reference it, say, okay, today I want to make a Twitter image for gifts.fun, and I want you to use the character Amy in that image. And so now it has a history of what Amy and who Amy is, and it has an history of what gifts.fun is. And so then you just type like a prompt, like a normal prompt, like in ChatGPT, but it gives you on-brand assets instantly.
There is one thing. Oh, go ahead, please.
Yeah, sorry. I was going to say I can take you through a quick presentation just to visualize it a bit, but it's up to you.
Sounds good. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, I would go with the question I have on just after that. So let me know when you're ready with the screen sharing.
Shall I just, do I need to stop sharing this screen?
You may, yes, exactly. And
then
you can share it again. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Can you see?
Yeah, go ahead. Yes.
Okay, cool. So essentially, we call it Nexus, right? And we've started to productize it. So this is kind of like it's a bit of a pitch deck. We're working currently with, I think, about 10 partners, a mixture of consumer companies. We've got a food company, we've got a skincare company, different companies who essentially spend tens of thousands of dollars on photo shoots, branding agencies, content agencies, but now are kind of saving that money and kind of using this end to end. And so one of the things that it can do, for example, is if you have a skincare company and you're promoting, I don't know, makeup or something, you can have a model generate an image, but then change the sort of, you can do all sorts of things with that. And it's basically infinitely scalable, and iterations can happen just basically through chatting. And I can talk you through this in a minute. So essentially what it is like I mentioned, the brand codec. So you build the memory for it, and then it remembers that in forever, forever in the future. You can talk to it like LLM. So it's, you can tell it how much or how little you want to change it. And it can help you. So we use it. I use it in marketing and in growth. Then we have the UX UI team use it to generate assets for the platform itself, like what you saw on gifts.fun. All of that stuff was generated using Nexus. Excuse me. And yeah, anybody who needs generative AI output, essentially.
What do you think about these? So we had a conversation yesterday around the difficulties to educate game studios brand as well. In AI and in the usage of AI. And one of the things we've seen is based on the report from GDC, so the Gamer Developer Conference, who said that feels like for a lot of game designer, but you could say any type of designer, feel like they are losing their soul while using AI in terms of creativity. But it feels like on your side, everyone in the company is using AI. Depending on the kind of responsibility they have, designer as well. So how do you see these fitting with the kind of objective you have as a company, but just keeping in mind that the creativity for you as a company, we are mighty, but any brands you're helping, it's still intact?
That's a really good one. I've been spending a lot of time with AI, and I think the one thing that keeps coming back to me is that if you don't know what you want, or you don't have a good eye for what should a good looks like, then whatever you give AI will not be, of standard. I think it is. I mean, it's an old adage by now, right? Trash in, trash out. And I think the people who kind of can use this the most are the most skilled, have the best. They know what they want and they know what good looks like. And that's a really, really challenging thing, because you can't, I've been back and forth, like I've been trying to make a workflow, end-to-end workflow currently, to scale ads, right? So we've started doing sort of ad campaigns for gifts.fun on the web app. And we've noticed that really it's down to massive iterations on, or A/B testing on the creatives.
Mm-hmm.
But creating content at scale like that, when we have a relatively small team still, and a lot of the art team are still working on other things, so I can't be constantly asking for these assets. But Nexus allows me to generate in great detail. But if I don't have the right documentation that clearly states to the codex in the first place what gifts.fun is about, what the vision is, what the language should be, what the characters are, what the key assets are, all those things, like if it's not neatly packaged and given to it, it's still going to go off the rails. Because I've run this thing so many times with say subpar documentation, and it really kind of forces you to look at the documentation that you give it, and you're like, oh, I need to give this information, I need to give this information. The colors are wrong, the fonts are wrong, or even the positioning can be, not properly I guess, articulated and visually if we don't give the right information. And I think people who are creative directors or people who are designers, I think the people who are actually mid-career even are in the strongest position because they know what good looks like. It's harder for, like, I think, new people coming in that goes straight to using AI because they haven't honed that skill in a instinctive way. If that makes sense.
Super interesting fact. That does make a lot of sense, because one of the key takeaways I found in the report, and I didn't know, it was surprising to me, but it would not be for you, was that the adoption of AI was for older people, if I may say so, all the people in the industry. They understood how to use it and the value of it more than younger people coming in the industry, which I found surprising based on our ability as staying a little bit young, our ability to adopt new technology. So your explanation actually explain why we're having a little bit these kind of steps, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, I used to be an actor, so I follow a lot of what's going on in like Hollywood, and there's a lot of interesting people out there creating content that's like just entirely AI generated with like films or mini short films and things like that. And there's one guy I follow. He's famous, super famous now, so I'm sure most of you know him. But PJ Asaturo, I'm basically a massive fangirl of him. But he talks a lot about how, like, you can't tell AI to create this trailer for you unless you know exactly how. It's like you're talking to the director. You're like, I need this kind of shot. I need a 2-shot. I need a wide shot. I need all those things. If you're a brand new kid learning to direct, you won't know that language. And so if you don't know that language, you can't tell AI to do it. So I think that's why I think that the people who are starting AI and they're already like 10 years into their career probably are the best placed to take advantage of it.
Love it. Super insightful. But please go ahead. Sorry for interrupting.
Yeah, so I think I was saying that it's ingested all the things you've asked it to, and then it compiles what I call reference points, right? So here I could have given a reference point for gifts.fun, and I could give maybe the Crossy Goat is one like sub reference. Like it's a game inside gifts.fun. So then here I could write, okay, make a video of, and you do the @ sign and say make a video of Crossy Goat from the gifts.fun brand. And so it references everything related to Crossy Goat and understands it in the context of gifts.fun, and then is able to build maybe a short video or image asset that adheres to their brand expectations of both Crossy Goat, the game, and gifts.fun, the platform. So I'll show you, this is the kind of video, I don't know if you can hear it.
Yes, we can. Oh, yes, we do.
This is the interface, very simple. So yeah, so that's an example of going through making some content for social media in like essentially five minutes. I'm actually working on a flow where you can automate it even more, but that's more kind of less art generation and more kind of workflow, like say using Claude Code or like automated, like, you know, node type agents, agentic workflows.
And how do you feel like you're not competing with Nano Banana? So I guess it's related to the answer you got before, which is how to be on brand, which is not the case every time while you're using Nano Bananas. I'm saying Nano Bananas based on the video, which is clearly related to the promises of what the tool is. But how do you explain these kind of competition you may have with them?
So Nano Banana is an interesting one because I don't think we're competing with Nano Banana. Actually, the tool in some cases will call Nano Banana as part of the kind of repertoire of tools that it calls.
Sure. Yeah.
This is obviously like a wrapper that's custom built with specificities to what we need, right? Because you could go to Nano Banana, but you then have to reprompt it every single time. It doesn't have like a knowledge base for you, et cetera, that kind of thing.
Yeah. Okay.
And so this is just a few examples. I'll skip through them super quick. You can have a photo shoot, say, that you once did with a team, or even generate this photo shoot using AI and then infinitely repose them in different clothes and different positions. Same here, same here. Same with like a model. You can have this original and then ask it to do angle variance. And you can also, this one is super useful for like growth and like ad campaigns where you may be targeting different demographics and you want to promote your skincare product, for example, to different age groups, different demographics and genders. And then you can have actual ad assets and switch out the talents. Again, same sort of thing. This is one of the hardest things that we actually tried to build, which is because AI has a tendency to hallucinate and change things when you didn't ask it to change things. And so now one of our apps is like literally called like talent swap or pose swap. So you basically freeze the subject, but then you can change the clothes. Or you can freeze the clothes and change the subject.
Impressive. So if you just go ahead, please.
So like if you've got like, you know, your sort of regular person, I mean, there is a lot of, if you're in the cutting edge of AI, you would probably know the prompting techniques and the nuances in order to create this. But obviously the masses are not going to do that. So having that already preset, because if you go to say a Nano Banana, you actually need to know the best prompt in order to achieve these sorts of things. So this is where like the edge is, where you can actually preset all these custom system prompts and just call them apps. So this is a talent swap one. This is a clothes swap one. And then you can say, you can remix content, another app that you can call a content remixer. You have a family, but you can have them in different poses and different locations, but it's all the same family each time. And then you can have a model and you can say, okay, I want to keep this model, but it's a Christmas campaign. So put them in front of a Christmas tree, or give me different variants of them on a box of gifts, or even seasonal variations. So it's super useful for just generating content for different seasonal campaigns. Yeah, so this is more of that same stuff. Facial expression control. Again, that one is a really hard one to just be able to prompt from the beginning. So just having a system prompt that you don't have to come back to each time. And this is a super helpful one from a marketing standpoint. Is like every time we go out and do something, it's like, oh, what's the ad network aspect ratio? What's the platform aspect ratio? And just being able to take one shot and be like, okay, switch it to this aspect ratio without compromising the actual product or the key asset is super helpful. Yeah,
I am very much in that situation every day. How to, change the format based on the kind of things you want to set up and based on the original image you're working with. That's super cool to see.
Yeah, I think that's actually the future now. Is all about prompting, right? Because even now, like if you're new to, I don't know, Photoshop, I mean, we know that Photoshop is super easy as well, right? You can go in and just change it. But then there's other things you have to consider, like where you want to center it. If you need to change up the sizing. I used to just send it to my art team, but like, can you change the aspect ratio? And now I just plonk the thing inside of Nexus and go change the aspect ratio, and it does it beautifully. And this just helps kind of free up the art team to do more of the fundamental work, and that there's no kind of back and forth so much between sort of marketing and growth and art.
I'm thinking about something which is happening in gaming, both Web 2 and Web 3. When we ask the question about AI, the excitement around NPC in gaming, with a lot of games happening with, even if it's a little bit, they are a little bit checky NPCs, not super reliable, but still they love it. And for now, and in the Web3 scene, obviously we know why we like NPC, and so it's definitely booming in terms of the relevance of such a topic for games, but for brands as well. And with such a tool you're having right now in terms of creating content at scale, it seems like it's a perfect fit with this kind of strategy we're going to see more and more, both for games and for brands. Like, how do you see that?
I mean, in terms of NPCs, I mean, we haven't yet played around with that in game, but I mean, I'd say the closest thing we have to an NPC right now is our Amy character, who is very much a sort of fixture in our community. And I mean, that excites me. I mean, I'm a big fan of Witcher and currently playing Cyberpunk. So like being able to have like long conversations and also unpredictable conversations with players is just going to deepen the experience of kind of like these, open world games. Yeah.
Okay. What would be the, so you said that the platform is definitely and primarily used internally. You're helping some brands to use it as well. That this is what you said. Yeah.
Yeah, so we're at the stage where we've been, I guess, so-called dog fooding it with our own team, but we realize, and I have a very specific, we are a very specific use case, right? Web3 gaming, but like we want to have, if you want to productize it, you want to have like obviously feedback and really precise feedback to optimize it for a skincare product. We've got, I can't remember the name of the brand, but the company, they make custom butter, Singapore-based company, and she's a solo founder. And, I think this is targeted actually specifically for a lot of these solo founders who might have these small businesses or side gigs, but probably couldn't afford to spend tens of thousands of dollars on photo shoots, but also really rely on content output on a daily basis to really kind of get that marketing, right? Content is king. Yeah. And so we've got some really great feedback. In fact, there's a kind of article coming out soon about this, but just how it's unlocked her ability to 10x her output and her marketing without worrying about like massive overheads for such a small business.
Love it. So what could what would be the thing? So we are in the very beginning of 2026. I already see so much things you've been working on for the past 6 months since I saw, and I worked on your case while I was preparing the workshop in Singapore. What should I wish you to accomplish in 2026 based on these new rebranding first, and in terms of the activities you're gonna handle?
Well, I think that there's a couple of big things that we're hoping to do is really scale Gift Stuff Fun. Once we kind of unlock some of the core fundamental moves that we're going to make, then we're just going to be shipping like, live ops with new games, new experiences. And that's really going to showcase more of what we can do on the AI side. But also, I think we're going to be seeing the launch of Nexus to a more open platform, similar to any AI platform out there. But I think we want to be there at a point where we have the moat is really strong, because there's a lot of things out there right now. And I mean, even seeing how rapidly things go, like I'm seeing Claude just level up. I don't know if Claude has been on everybody's tongue, right? And it's because I've just discovered how you can, I pay for Lindy right now to do a lot of the agentic workflows for me. So we have like a stream of like news that custom news that kind of uses a Lindy workflow, which now I don't even need them, because really all agentic workflow can be done through your Claude Code interface. Yeah. And actually, when they say last year oh, AI employee. And I wasn't really seeing that. Like I wasn't seeing something doing that work for me, but I just finally discovered how skills, I'm a bit late to the game on that one, right? But I really wasn't clicking in my head what skills were until I really tried the exercise of making this end-to-end ad agent. And it's been super helpful in kind of doing research, finding market competitors, finding positioning gaps, and coming up with some super interesting information. And it uses a lot of different tools. It's not just Claude, right? Because Claude is then using a Perplexity MCP or and then we use the asset generation is actually Nexus. So it's all coming together, and you're just seeing some projects and companies really leveling up.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, it makes sense. So you definitely want to rely on the case studies you're going to be able to produce internally, still try to help brands utilizing the platform you're building through Nexus, but bearing in mind that the AI tooling is evolving so much that you don't want to be fully committed to a product which might change over a month or could have some sort of competition with other tool, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I mean, thanks a lot for your time, Coco. Really appreciate it. I think it was super insightful. I will share that. Obviously, we're gonna have this video online, and we'll share that with every one of the members of the BGA. And if they have questions for you, I will address those questions for sure. But I really value the time you had with us today and to present everything happening. I knew some stuff, but I didn't know everything that you showed. So thanks a lot for that. I appreciate it.
I'm glad it was helpful. It was really nice chatting with you today. Yeah.
No, thank you very much, and I see you very soon. And again, within the BGA Telegram group, if anyone would like to be in contact with Coco, have questions directly to her, please let me know on my side as well if you need anything. And yeah, Coco, wishing you a very good end of the week, and I hope to see you soon.
See you soon. Thank you so much for having me. Take care.
Thank you. Bye bye. Take care.
Bye bye.